Imagine that you have a soil, this soil layer, and on top of that you have this structure. Um the seismic waves can arrive in any direction, from any direction basically. But the local soil effect, so this is, let's say, local soil, and it will have any stiffness. This soil basically will modify the seismic waves, the frequency of seismic waves. So you have seismic waves which are originating from any particular seismic source, and when they reached close to the site, they are modified by the local soil. Local soil can amplify or de-amplify also the seismic waves. In general, you can say that they will modify the frequency content of the ground motion itself. Because just consider that the ground, the local soil itself is a kind of a structure, and that structure is subjected to seismic waves in lateral direction. So that local soil will itself uh, behave in its own dynamic manner, and the local soil will have its own natural time period, its own you can say damping property, and those dynamic properties of the soil itself will modify the ground motions, and the structure which the ground motion which it receive at its own base will be that one which is modified by the local soil. So for example, the top 30 meter of the soil layer, the effect of that top 30 meter is generally considered in modifying the actual seismic waves. And since the seismic monitoring stations are also installed sometimes on soil or at some depth, maybe 10 meter or 5 meter, so their recordings are also influenced by this local soil effect. We can characterize the effect of this local soil or site also, that the analysis to characterize this effect is called ground response analysis. Ground response analysis. So you already have another process called the probabilistic seismic hazard assessment, PSHA, but that is the process will give you the seismicity or the seismic hazard level at the bedrock level. So this is, let's say, the bedrock, but your structure is you can say situated on a soil deposit which has its own dynamic properties. So the PSHA process will give you the effect of seismic hazard or ground motion parameters at bedrock level. It is considered as a standard to you can say perform this analysis for bedrock condition, and then we modify this bedrock condition ground motion parameters by another analysis called the ground response analysis. As the name indicates, that here you actually model the site. You model the complete site just like a structure, and based on that analysis you come up with the ground motion which is expected at the top of that local soil. So the ground motion, the original ground motion, is given as an input in this analysis, and this will give us the output which is the ground motion at top. That ground motion at the top of the soil will be modified based on the dynamic properties of the soil itself. Okay, and those amplified ground motions or modified ground motions will have the signature of the soil, local soil effects in them. The difference of the actual response spectra, which is given as an input and that corresponds to the bedrock shaking, and the output response spectrum, that difference will tell you that how much the ground motion is modified by that particular local soil. So you can say that there are a specific frequency range which is modified by the local soil, And it's not that the ground motion is simply amplified with a constant factor or de-amplified by a constant factor. The ground motion will be modified differently in different frequency ranges. So it is possible that the input response spectrum may look like this input, which is at the bedrock level, but the output response spectrum at the surface level is like this, surface level. So let's consider a hypothetical scenario that you give an input response spectrum which has a peak at 0.5 second. Okay, and the natural time period of the soil itself, if you consider the whole site or local soil as a structure itself, let's say that it has its own time period around 1 second, and it is a loose soil, let's say. So it means that if it is allowed to vibrate freely, that whole deposit is going to take 1 second to complete one cycle. It is a frequency or preferred frequency or time period in which the whole deposit likes to vibrate in. So when the shaking is there, the it's not that the whole soil will behave in a rigid manner and it will just shift that shaking from bottom to top as it is. It will modify it based on its own natural time period and its own damping ratio. So the difference between the original and the surface level response spectrum will depend on, and that will be the result of this analysis, that will be depending on the stiffness of the soil itself, and in turn the natural frequency or time period of the soil itself. So therefore you can see the spectra recorded, you can say, for different soil types is different. And in general, as we are having more and more flexible soils, the peak is shifting towards right, because that is the effect of the natural time period or stiffness of the soil itself. The loose soils will have low stiffness, and therefore their natural time period will be more, and therefore the peak, or the, you can say, the response will have their peak close to their own natural time period. So softer soils will have a spectra which is shifted towards right hand side, but stiffer soils will have a spectra which will have a peak at very short time period.